How's everybody doing? These Epstein files keep getting worse by the day. The more and more I go through the latest batch, and I maybe went through maybe 20% of what they have posted. A lot of the things they have posted is obviously redacted. The names are redacted of the victims and some of prominent people. And certain people names are redacted. And obviously, I understand why the victims' names are redacted. I understand that. Um, but it's getting worse by the day as far as prominent people that have denied involvement with this man. It was a lot of people that I'm finding, even when he had his first case, when he got convicted, he did a little time. And when he got out, they resumed involvement with this guy, including the Crown Princess of Norway, and other people. I don't have to name them all because the media is doing that. But it goes to show how wicked these people are. This guy was convicted, of SA with younger people, and people still continued involvement with them. Your celebrities, a lot of the celebrities that, that's out there, of course, and they're still denying that they did anything. Now, Epstein Island, we know that it's a lot of wicked stuff. Some of the videos are out. Some people are trying to claim that they're AI. They're not AI. There's one video leaked that was very disturbing. And yes, celebrities, politicians, world leaders, they're all involved. And it's crazy. Yeah, it's a wicked people out here. The news cameras are setting up right by my car. That's crazy. I think this is Channel 7 News. I believe it's Channel 7 News. I don't want to get into why the news is here, but I didn't do it. You heard me. I didn't do it. I didn't do it. Channel 7 out here, and I didn't do it. You heard me. You believe me? There's ways to do things, you know what I'm saying, in this world anonymously, if you feel me. There's whole ways to do things out here, man. But you get things done when you know the law. When you know the law and you know how to do things anonymously, that's all I'm going to say. And I told a few other people around here to do it anonymously, and guess what? The news is right here. But I ain't do it, though. I didn't do it. But it's always good to learn the law, man. It's always good because things happen slowly, but things happen, though, especially in this day and age. Everybody looking for a check. And, yeah. So, yeah, I just wanted to say that real quick. But these Epstein files, man, is getting worse. And check this out. This only tip of the iceberg. Eventually, I heard some of the victims may speak eventually. It's all in a matter of due time. And some of these victims that were young at the time, I'm talking about not even teenage. Guess what? They're around. They're around now. And a lot of them have been found, yo. That's how crazy this is. They're around. They're acting like they're not around, but they are, and they're adults now. Some of them are around. And yeah, man, it's a lot of these elected officials and all that. They all have been caught with their pants down. And I don't even have to see the evidence to know that. From what I read, it's going to get worse. Now, what would you say? Like, what's the worst that could happen here? I mean, listen, it's bad, yo. It's very bad, and it's very dark to talk about. That's why I can't talk about everything, just for my well-being and my mental peace. I can't. But once you go down that rabbit hole, your imagination start to take over, and they have a lot of stuff redacted. They have a lot of stuff redacted for a reason, because this is all of the people that they have been talking about. That's not all of them. Even people are starting to look at the New York City mayor funny. Like, was he placed there? I always say, who sent you? You got to say, you always have to answer who, what, when, where, and why. We're starting to realize a lot of these people have been placed, and the jokes is on us. But it makes me realize, like, his election, was it fair? Did the people actually vote him in? I don't know about that. I question everything, because he do have, it's obvious now that he has a connection with these files. Now, he may not have done anything because he was young, but he has relatives that's involved here. Now, what their involvement is, I don't know. His mother was a producer, and she was known. She's known. Maybe she didn't do anything, or maybe she didn't know anything. But you have to ask yourself sometime, the current Prez T, he was very friendly with this guy. Did he know him from way back in the day? I don't know. And then also, some people are complaining about how he's handling the snow in New York City, and the garbage is piling up. I want to say to people, this is not the first time this has happened. It just hasn't snowed like this in like over 10 years. I mean, all throughout the East Coast, from the South all the way up to Maine. It hasn't really, except for upstate New York. Upstate New York gets snow like this every year, but I'm talking about the regular places. They haven't received snow like this in about 10 years. So it happens. The last time it snowed like this 10 years ago, the same thing was going on. Trash build up. But the thing is, the mayor at the time handled this a little bit better. And even the outgoing mayor even said, okay, joke's on y'all, man. Y'all kicking me out. The joke's on y'all. In fact, it is. More than likely, the jokes is on the people. That's why I don't really talk politics, because I know that it's a good old boy system. And somebody said to me, they said, well, what do you mean by good old boy system? Well, it's just a slang term to say that there's a club of people and they help each other out. Okay, that's what I mean by that. There's a good old boy system in any state you go to, but the country itself is ran on that. It's almost like the old guard is changing. It's like eventually things will get worse before it get better. But there's also the reason why people are complaining the way they're complaining is because they're already under pressure already. They're already under insurmountable amount of pressure. And when you have when things like this with the snow, they complain harder. Just because things don't seem like it's getting better. It seemed like it's getting worse. It seemed like it's getting worse by the day. And they put us under a lot of pressure, and it's like a pressure cooker waiting to explode. The last time the pressure cooker exploded, it's a few times in history, because you got to history often repeats itself. There's been several minor pressure cooker explosions in this country, but the last explosion, some of us wasn't even alive yet. It was in the 1960s. I believe 68, 69, 68, or something like that, when they started having these riots in these major cities, Watts, Los Angeles, Newark, New Jersey, and a few other places around the Union. There has been several pressure cooker explosions. The major explosion was then. I wasn't alive then, but I could only go on the history. And I know that this country is just now recovering from that major explosion back then. And when you go back to the 1960s, you had a lot of assassinations back then. And so that, coupled with lack of opportunity, um, redlining in the neighborhoods, which is happening again, but it's happening by way of your finances. If you can't, like, people are getting priced out of their neighborhoods that they grew up in New York City and in northern New Jersey. So people are forced to have to move to other states to even survive, or they have to do different things to survive. And it's a pressure cooker they have not have yet experienced. They're experiencing it now. But I want to say that history is repeating itself, because that's the same thing happened in the 1960s. Now, I'm going to change my stance on ICE. I have to change my stance. And if I have said anything on this platform to offend people, I apologize, because I have to look at history for a minute, and I have to look at ICE. The same thing happened to us in this country since its inception. We've been going through similar things since this country's inception. So, you know how they say 1776, and we celebrate the 4th of July. And you remember Frederick Douglass was like, "What is the 4th of July to me?" And that's not the exact title, but you read it before. You know about the Frederick Douglass 4th of July speech. But the same thing is happening to these people now that's going through this ICE situation. Tag, they're it. We've always been it. But I don't want to say, I don't want to sit here and say that I don't have no empathy or compassion for these people and their families and what they're going through, because indirectly it affects me too, because I have friends that family are being targeted hard by these ICE agents. Okay, they're being targeted hard. So I have to say, I have to be a little bit more compassionate for what they're going through, because I already know what life is like when you're the boogeyman. In fact, I'm still going through it. I'm constantly getting tickets, and it's just like it's a lot of things that we have gone through driving while black. In this country is still going on. The state of New Jersey, I heard, is suing this city because they were told not to let blacks in. So what's happening to us is still going on. It's not right that we can't be in a city. What if we have business in that city? What if we're dropping people off? What if we're delivering that city and we can't be in that city because we're black? That's what that mayor said. That's what he said. Now, there's a lot of division going on right now. They're saying that, well, this is not our fight. We shouldn't get involved. They do not want us to get involved, because if people, black and brown, or people that feel like they're marginalized, if they do band together, Lord help the establishment. Lord help the establishment, because the populace of this country is already militarized, and there's no turning back. You can't go take weapons from every household. You just can't do it, because that's going to mess the economy up too, because businesses make money off of firearm sales, ammunition sales. Let's face it, the NRA is one of the biggest lobbying groups in Washington, D.C. I believe AARP might be the second biggest. Maybe that has subject to change now, since I have last did research on that. I know that NRA, the National Rifles Association, And they used to be headed by Charleston Heston. You know, Ben-Hur. He used to head the NRA back in the day. He passed away, but I know a lot about it. And I have a lot of knowledge on history and how things repeat itself. So I'm just going to use my platform to be a little bit more sensitive to people's plight out here. Because there's a lot, it's going to get worse. It's a lot of things going on that, is making people not safe. And it's a lot going on. So I just, I'll be willing to talk about it depending on what's going on in the news and stuff like that. I'll be willing to, talk about it like that. But that, if it's, I understand why people say that could be a distraction. But I will also say, okay, that could be a distraction for some people because they're focused on the ICE situation and not these files. But I will argue for smart people. There's a lot of smart people that I come across, and many, almost 100% right now that's watching me are not distracted. I can tell you this. I can bet on this. I can literally bet $100 that what is it worth, really? What is $100 worth, right? But I could bet $100 that the 51 people that are listening right now are not distracted by anything. I can almost bet you. Okay. So if I say, well, this is just a distraction, what I'm really doing is I'm diminishing or trying to say that you're not intelligent. And that's not true. There's nobody here that's listening right now that is distracted by anything. Nothing. But did you know discussions like this, what we're having right now, this is not new. They had discussions like this in the 1970s. In the 1960s, people were getting together discussing this stuff. How the man this, you remember back in the day, you said the man, this and that. Did you know back in the day, it was, I'm just going to say how we describe ourselves. It was white, black, brown, yellow, orange, polka dot, spotted or dotted, all talking about the same thing. In this country, there's the 1% of society and people that make the laws and the rest of the other people. But we're in a society now where most of the other people of the lighter complexion, they're feeling marginalized now. They are. And they've been feeling like this probably since 2020, when everybody was made to wear a mask. That's when it happened. That's when everybody woke up. That's when it happened. That's when everybody woke up and people said, oh, we got to get the jab, this and that, and blah, 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 blah. That's when everybody woke up like, wait a minute. But guess what happened with the universe, though? So, Gates, he was a major player in getting the J, A, B. Now he's being put on Front Street. That's the universe. That's the universe. The universe, I'm going to tell you this, it's going to get worse before it gets better, but the universe always protects the populace for some reason. There's another entity in this universe that will make sure that humanity continues. They're already talking about another situation overseas right now that could spread here by next November. But I'm going to tell you something, though. Fear and stress will take you out of here before anything else. Just stick together. I would just say just stick together with people that you care about, and that's really all you could do. But they're going to try to do everything to try to distract you. But I must say, you're not distracted. You're not distracted. You're not distracted at all. And there's no one in here right now that's listening to me, right, that's saying that they're distracted. Not one. Not one. Not one right now is saying they're distracted. Not one. Not one is said they're distracted yet. I didn't hear nobody say, Max, I am distracted. No, you're not. Nobody is distracted. Now, why do you say that? Why you say, Max, why nobody distracted? Hold on a second. You say, Max, that no one is distracted because nobody said they're distracted yet. That's why. You said, Max, did you sell those Space Jams because they're releasing again in December? No, I took a loss on all the sneakers I purchased back in years ago, when people were getting those PPP loans. I didn't get the PPP loans, but the market for the sneakers were at an all-time high and people were making money hand over fist. I thought I could wait a couple years and it tanked on me. So it's not, I'm taking a loss on everything on eBay. Okay. And I paused eBay for a second because I probably practically just give them away. That's how much a loss I'm taking. But no, it's I don't even care about new releases anymore. I don't care about sneakers, nothing. No new releases, nothing like that, because it was a scam anyway. The sneakers are fake anyway. Even if they're real, they're fake. They're all made in China. They're all made at the same factory. But nobody's distracted by anything. But what people are is a little bit peed off. I could tell you that much. Because of the pressure cooker, like I said, in 1960, so go back for a second, fast forward, the 1960s was very interesting times. The 1960s, if you study it. Okay, so I'm talking about Newark, for example. Newark was as they say, an inner city ghetto, which was done on purpose. There was a lot of factories, even Pat's Blue Ribbon was in Newark, New Jersey. Shaquille O'Neal, his family used to live near there. The old Pat's Blue Ribbon building, it's not there anymore, but there was a lot of factories and opportunity within Newark and the surrounding areas. Go fast forward even before that, World War I and World War II, when the GIs were coming home, the men were coming home. We're going to take the men that had equal credit to their white counterparts. They had equal credit, superior credit. They had the GI Bill, different things that were afforded to them for being in the war, and they were denied certain property. This is a fact. This is a matter of historical fact. All history is not good history, but yet it's still history, right? They were denied certain land. Some of the land that I'm watching right now, they were denied certain houses over here because I'm watching. Some of these houses are after World War II because I'm watching. I can tell how they're made. They were denied certain property, and we know that your wealth is in your property. When you will wealth down, wealth is in their property. So we were denied certain land, so they came up with these those old World War II, World War I projects that they built for people to live in. Well, they started moving people in there, and what happened was the jobs left, and people didn't have opportunity, they had to go elsewhere to make money, and wherever you have lack of opportunity and finances, you're going to have crime. This is anywhere in the world. So that's what happened. And the next thing you know, they started rioting. The pressure cooker broke and they started rioting. And you know what I've noticed in those riots? If those riots had continued and all people really band together, the riots would have lasted longer. This country almost damn near would have crumbled. But their saving grace is people still buy products. And Martin Luther King, he had changed his stance. He died right before the riots started, but he had already passed. But what I'm saying is, he had talked about boycotting certain brands and stuff like that because the Montgomery bus boycotts actually worked. What the funny part about it is that part of history is not funny, Rosa Parks. However, the bus people's like, man, let these people ride the bus. Let them sit in the front of the bus. I don't care where they sit, but we need their money. So I think that is funny because they said we don't care where they sit at this point. Because you know what was happening during that time? People started making a lot of money If you had a vehicle, just taking people to work, you were making more, they were making a lot of money. So they said, no, we can't have this. So let them sit in the front of the bus or wherever they want to sit. Don't discriminate on them anymore now, because we're losing our bottom line here. They were saying that, their bottom line is suffering. So let them ride on the bus, even though it wasn't about sitting on the back of the bus, because Rosa Parks wasn't on the back of the bus. And even that situation didn't even involve her, believe it or not. She was picked. It didn't even involve her. It actually involved somebody else. But they used her, anyway. Let's just say for the sake of historical whatever. Let's just talk about her. It wasn't about the back of the bus. It wasn't about that. People could sit where they want to sit. But it's just the fact that people started boycotting. That was a controlled, well organized boycott. And guess what happened? It worked. It worked so good that they said, please get back on this bus. They was like, nah, we got car services. We have trucks. People was sitting on back of trucks, and we'll get to where we got to get to. No, no, no. You guys come on over here and get back on this bus. And get back on this bus. And that's what happened. So he knew that, hey, that worked. So why don't we do this with other brands? Let's boycott them indefinitely. Let's go after the Teamsters. Let's also go after sanitation. Let's go after, he had a different products that people are going to stop buying indefinitely. People are going to make their own bread. They were just going to support local businesses. And he included all people. And guess what? It was getting ready to work, and they got him up out of here. They got him up out of here, man. ASAP. So that could work again, but it just had to take something for people to really organize. But I'm just talking history, but because that actually worked. I'm not saying that people are going to do it, but I'm just saying it worked in the past. But really, to really make something happen, obviously Washington talks dollars. So you have to start with lobbying groups and get a representative and put your money to work. That's the only way it'll work in your particular area you live in. That's the way things will get going. But what's interesting right now, I would say the foreigners, eventually, it's interesting right now what's happening because, the other administration let all these people in. So why are you kicking them all out? Why are you kicking them all out, man? Because the other administration let them in. Because if I was those people, I would get representation because, like, look, man, y'all let us in. Some of us, we didn't. Some of us just walked on in here. So why can't we stay? Well, they obviously crunched the numbers, and the numbers is not going in their favor because they don't want to be the minority. In fact, if you look at, that's even funny when they call us minorities, because if you look at the continent as itself, they just put the whole continent together, all the countries, right? We're the majority. And also we're the majority around the whole world. But anyway, if you want to call us minorities, so be it. But I laugh at that because are we really minorities, or are we just made to believe that? I guess you could still say that because if people come together, then and the wrong people organize, if you notice. They're like, okay, these people, they have a need for organizing, so let's just put people in place to organize with them. No, those people were sent. We need somebody with true intentions to actually organize and get everybody together. Because what I would say is every household will organize. If every household organize and get on code, then everybody is on code. But it has to take every household, though. But when you have these people come along like this one guy, um, the Huey, the doctor, excuse me, the Dr. Huey P. Newton wannabe, it was obvious that he was set. And you don't hear too much more about him anymore. He's still around, but he's not trending anymore. The reason why he's not trending because everybody was starting to like call him what it was. Then they always do it with the guns. Hey, we got guns, we're out here and this and that. And that's because they want everybody out here doing what he's doing so you can get knocked off. Do not be out here showing your gun, walking around. Don't do that. That's a trap. That doesn't work. What works is lobbying and your money. That's what works. All you need is about 600,000 people. I would say about 700,000 around the country just to boycott a few brands indefinitely, and then that'll get people start to talk. All right, what do we need to do in your neighborhood? Well, you need to stop redlining, and people in New York. I'm sorry to tell you, you can elect these officials and hope they do the right thing, but that's not how it's going to work. If you want affordable rent in New York City, Mandani is probably not the answer. He's not. How is he gonna bring affordable housing now? How is he gonna do that? Yeah, his storyline is still pending because he just got in, right? But I don't think it's gonna happen. I don't think it's gonna happen. I don't think it's gonna happen. People are starting to show up to his house and causing a disturbance, stuff like that. And they already like messing with him now. They already doing it. But like I said, man, I honestly think he was handpicked. I can't prove it though. But when the election time, I couldn't talk bad about him. People I know, they was like, no, he's it, and I voted for him, and you guys need to stop all you Trump voters and stuff like that, and blah, 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 blah. I said, first of all, how you know I'm a Trump voter? I know you are, and this and that, and first of all, I could have wrote myself on the ballot for all you know. You don't know that. Because I don't believe in the lesser of the two evils. You know what I'm saying? I just don't. I don't believe in the lesser of the two evils. I never did. But I could have voted myself, and I could have voted King Kong in, yo, for all you know. I could have voted King Kong in, man. You don't know. You don't know who I voted for. I could have had King Kong on the ballot. Because you can write people on the ballot. Hold on a second. You can write whoever you want on the ballot. It don't mean nothing. It's not going to happen, but you don't know if I did that. I still voted, but who did I vote for? I don't believe, like I just told you, the answer is what I just told you. I don't believe in the lesser of the two evils. I don't believe that in this whole country, you only got two people. And the other one wasn't even ready. She wasn't ready. She was not ready. Because that her dude that was supposed to be down with her, he wasn't down with her. So if he wasn't down with her, why am I going to be down with her? He should have been gave up that position. He should have been gave up the position to let her run the country for at least 2 years so people could see how she is and not go into conspiracy theories. But people didn't like her. I'm not saying this country is not ready for a woman. I think they are, but they got to have the right one. They have to, this country will elect a woman president when the people get behind a person that's really for the people. But then what'll happen is that person will get in office and nothing will get done, probably. I don't know. But it's not that they're not ready for a woman president. Other countries have had women in charge. That's not it. It's just that why with the lesser of the two evils, man? She obviously wasn't ready. And the thing is, a lot of people she's feeling the effects of I would say Obama administration. She's feel they don't want that to happen again because, um, like I said, I'm all inclusive for all people. I don't care if you're gay, straight, or whatever you identify yourself as. Um, it's so be it. You know what I'm saying? If you're cool, I'm down with you. It don't matter what your sexual preference is, but when you put that ahead of all the other ills of this country, then you know what I'm saying that wasn't right and exact. That definitely wasn't right, and it definitely wasn't. And that's the reason why he's the reason why really Trump got elected the first time, because people were tired of that politics. They and he was speaking, regardless of how you feel about um, the two numbered president, regardless of how you feel about him, he was speaking. He was speaking. He wasn't speaking politics. He wasn't speaking politics, and people were feeling that. He wasn't speaking politics. I tell you that much. Now, did he have his own agenda? Yeah, of course. All of them do. But he wasn't speaking how normal politicians were speaking, and he did that on purpose. People think he's stupid. Speaking a certain way. Let me know if you still hear me. Because my yeah, I know what it is. But yeah, he's been lingering for so long that people are like, uh-oh, it's just a matter of time. And then I knew at that when he got roasted at that correspondence dinner, I said, here we go. Now he's coming. And he already had it mapped out already. And the MAGA people are upset because he used their stuff against them. Hold on a second. Yeah, sorry about that. Hold on one second. There's a lot going on at one time, so Sorry about that. The news was outside, and there's so much stuff going on at one time. This lady had just stopped me, and I'm not trying to put myself on Front Street, but you know what I'm saying? They don't realize that me and a few other people got stuff started, but I'm being anonymous. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not trying to bring trouble to nobody. This lady was talking to me like I don't know what's going on. I had to keep it that way because I don't want her to know that me and a few other people put stuff in motion. She's like, you could do this and that. I said, oh, I'm aware of it. She's like, yeah, we got this anonymous person. I'm like, yeah, well, I don't know who that is. I said, I wish y'all the best, but I'm a resident of Virginia and I'm back and forth. But yeah, you can still do this. I was like, I know. But anyway, I don't want to be putting myself out there and then, because you know how people are. Because the man don't got charged $2,000 times 26. That's a lot of money. And I don't want to be the one to say I did it. I think they trying to find out like what's going, like who did it. Well, I don't know. I ain't from up here, man. That's what I tell them. I'm in Virginia, man. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's just what it is. I'm in Virginia. I don't know what's going on. That's how I said it. But yeah, man. This guys, these files are getting worse, man. When I tell you it's gonna get worse, these files are getting worse by the day. And I've only read some of it because I get tired. I'm like, okay, I'm going through each one, and I get tired of seeing stuff that's redacted. And then I finally got to some pictures. I said, uh-oh. I thought they weren't hanging with him after he got convicted. And they were hanging with him after he got convicted. They were hanging with him after he got convicted. Everybody know what he got convicted of the first time. Okay? They all hanging with him. Now, the one in office, he wasn't hanging with him. He was hanging with him in the 90s. Okay? But he was hanging with him. But it was in the 90s, and what happened was, allegedly, they had a falling out. I'm going to say allegedly because I wasn't there, but they had a falling out because there was a young lady that was working at Mar-a-Lago, and the legend has it that Epstein approached her, and the man in office right now took offense to it because it was a friend of his daughter, and they had a falling out, like a huge falling out. A huge falling out. Now, I believe he felt like he got set up and he had stuff hanging over his head. Honestly, he didn't say that, but I bet you that's how he feel. Like, man, this dude got stuff on me and this and that. He set us all up, this and that, man. F him, man. Like that. Like, damn, like, yeah, everybody got caught. Everybody got caught. That's why I say who sent them. This guy knew everybody. This guy had the crown princess of Norway feeling him. She stayed at his house. She got a whole husband in Norway that's the crown prince. But she going to hang with this dude talking about he's so sweet. Okay? He's so sweet and this and that. And she told people she wasn't hanging with him after he got convicted the first day. She wasn't hanging with him. Yes, she was. Because she was up there in Florida with him. He arranged for her to get stuff done, cosmetic stuff done. This is a matter of record. This ain't allegedly. So now she said, well, she got to deal with the best she got to deal with it. And check this out. There's an email that was sent saying that, can you send my son some naked pictures of women? He was 15 at the time. Her son was 15 at the time. And she wanted Epstein to send some photos to him. And guess what? Guess what? He got arrested And guess what his charges are? Are the crown princess of Norway. The reason why she's a crown princess because she married into it, but she had a son prior to her marriage, right? The oldest son, he's the one that's in trouble right now for Aaron. Now, my thing is, could that go back to whatever he was exposed to? Yeah, the orange one got in a beef with what's his name. They got in a major fallout. And I know it's probably power tripping. They probably was power tripping. You know, they both in New York City. And this dude had a lot of clout, and he probably felt some type of way about it. Well, how come I can't have all the clout? Why everybody rocking with this dude and not rocking with me? It probably was something like that too. You know what I'm saying? They were what you call, even when they were cool, I believe they were frenemies. They were frenemies. There's a term, they act like they cool, but talking about each other behind their back. And he was doing the same thing with the crown princess. He was cool with her, but talking about her behind her back to people, saying that she's messy, that she's a mess. And she was so fond of him. She was. Okay. He got a thing for younger women because she was younger than he was. And she spent time, she got a whole husband in Norway, but spending time with him in Florida. Okay. He hung out with her husband once, but her husband probably wasn't really feeling him, so he didn't hang out with him after that. But she was though. And then she told him, please come to Norway and save us from boredom and all this type of stuff right here. Because she was bored with her duties as the crown princess. And she wanted him to, and then she said to him one time, what do you do besides not hanging out with me? What do you be doing? Like all into his business. Because she was feeling him. Despite him being convicted. You know what she said? Hey, listen, you need you know, you need you one of our type of women. You know, we make the best wives. You need a Scandinavian woman. That's what she told him. You need a Scandinavian woman. Okay? You need a Scandinavian woman. We make the best wives. But you can go to France if you want to frolic around. Why don't you go to France? She said this to him. So she obviously was down with the get down, down with him. I don't know to what extent that she was down with him. But they leaked a video here recently. They leaked a video. I couldn't believe that video got leaked. It's on his island, and it looks like little people dressed up as maids, Joe. That's not AI. That's not AI. I don't know. See, whoever that's in control of this right now, whoever is in control of this, I honestly believe that there's like people in the shadows that's trying to bring all these people down, yo. It's like some hidden war going on between, you know, the powers that be and other people. That's what I believe. I just can't prove it. Because somebody is force feeding this information. And the problem is, okay, you could force feed the information to try to expose the prez, right? But guess what? When you do that, everybody else getting exposed. So what do? Do you expose him, or do you don't do it with the risk of exposing everybody else? So so they're in a predicament right now, but I believe there's somebody else that we don't see that's leaking, that's leaking. So these videos not supposed to get leaked. Well, no, the videos that are part of the files, yes, you can see those. But there was one video that wasn't redacted. It wasn't in black. Usually they black out the videos so we can't see certain things, but this one video we saw it. And that's all I needed to see. And then they made a joke, man, Stephen Hawkins, man. This dude made a joke. He made a video saying this is what Stephen Hawkins was doing on the island. And it was funny as hell. I think I shared it on my IG. And I often said to myself, because I have my mind is set up like this. What was Stephen Hawkins doing on that island, yo? What could he do? What could he do, man? Did his stuff still work? Like, I don't know. Like, because he progressively had got worse to that condition. But how did he communicate to get down with the get down? And I hate to even say that out loud because I don't like to, I don't want to I'm not making fun of his condition, but I wanted to know. I don't even think I want to know what they did with him on that island, yo. I don't even think I want to know. And was he in control, or did they just do ritualistic stuff to him? You said, one thing I know right now, he's on top of Russia putting rockets in Cuba 90 miles from us, and also anything else against us. I don't care how many women he has. Wait, what are you talking about? Andrew, listen, he's the one person that they're outing. He don't been outed so bad, I don't think people care no more. We want to see what's up with everybody else. Because Andrew, we already know he don't got caught with his hand in the cookie jar. We already know this. He don't got caught out there so bad that before his mother died, they stripped him of his stuff, and then his brother stripped him. But then my question is, is his brother down with the get down? Because ain't nobody talk about him yet. Like, what's going on? You said, I think I know what it was. Let's just leave it at that. What with Stephen Hawkins? Yeah, I think if that's what you're talking about. Like, I'm trying to figure out what was he doing. I mean, if P Diddy is mentioning this, we not caring about that because P Diddy already doing his time. We already know he down with the get down. Okay, and what else is going on? Like, who else? Now, this whole thing with Gates is diabolical. Gates is diabolical if this is true. They're saying that he hit him up talking about, I don't sit up here and caught something, and can you give some antibiotics to me so I can slip it to my wife? That's diabolical if that really happened. Okay? Okay? That's crazy. No wonder he got a divorce. No wonder. But hey, it's not a surprise to me because he's still a human being. Human beings are capable of anything. We all have free will, and some people take their free will, and if they can get away with it, they're going to do it. You said it did happen, and that's why well, it's in the record. And he don't sit up there and contact him talking about he needs some antibiotics and see if he could slip it to her. What he gonna do? Slip it in her drink? That's that. And he's sitting up here telling us we should get the J. Bro, sit down somewhere. Go sit down, man. Go sit down. Sit down. That's ghetto. What he did. So that's some ghetto shit, man. But see, he's not a deity. He's not. He's a regular ass dude, but he just got a lot of money and a lot of people know him. The Omni Hotel here in Richmond was on the Epstein list. Okay, so let me give you a story, Jay, because I told this story before. When I first moved to the beautiful city of Richmond, I wanted to go out, right? So a coworker put me on to something. Now, I don't know if I'm in the damn files, but I'm about to tell you. If I'm in the files, it got to be anonymous. But here's the thing. So he's like, yo, I'm about to put you up on this song. Because we used to go to different clubs. He said, are you looking for some people with money? I said, what you talking about? He said, ladies, you know, I'm gonna take you to a bar. It's the hotel. Now that Omni Hotel has a bar in it. For local people out there, you know what I'm talking about. I don't know if they still do it, but it was a bar in the hotel. You could just go in and they be having like little music playing, and one time they didn't have a DJ, but they had somebody playing music. I think it might have been a DJ, but I didn't see one. No, it wasn't a DJ. They were just playing music. And guess what they put on, yo? They put on some damn DMX, yo. They put on some DMX. And the lady looked at me. She said, yeah, you ain't think we listen to that type of music, huh? You like that. I'm playing it off. I said, oh, okay, yeah, I'm bopping my head. And they had like a little area where you could dance. It wasn't big. It wasn't big, but they had a little area where you could dance. So I'm dancing. So I sit back down. My boy was like, yo, you like this? I'm like, yo, something ain't right here. So then this lady kept looking at me. She's with her husband. So she keep looking at me. So the next thing you know, the bartender said, hey, what you drinking? I said, no, I just got like half of Corona left. I said, I'm just going to rock with this. You know what I'm saying? Because, how my count is set up. Hey, Ryan, you remember this story I'm talking about when I was at the hotel? But watch this. You about to press one, Ryan, once you hear the story, see if I told you this before. I'm about to continue. So I'm at the hotel. So he was like, yo, what you drinking? I was like, no, I'm just going to drink this and I'm going to be done because, how my account is set up. I don't want to spend all this money in here because the drinks is not, it wasn't cheap. So he said, no, the couple, they got you. And I'm like, well, I haven't talked to them. They bought me a drink. So he said, you want a shot? They offering you a shot. So I took it. Now, you don't take stuff free in this world and think something ain't going to happen. So then next thing you know, she came over. Her husband went to the bathroom or something. I'm assuming it was her husband at the time, but I didn't know. So she came over to me and she was like, yeah, you're enjoying yourself. I have never seen you here before. I said, no, my friend right there, he told me about this spot. So she talking. She's bent. No, she's buzzed, but she's not drunk. She's buzzed, but she's not drunk. She was like, well, what are you doing later? I was like, well, I'm just gonna go home. This is how green I am. Because I'm in my 20s. So this is how green I am in the game. So she's like, yeah, well, we got a room upstairs. And we would like you to join us for some cocktails. Now, you know how crazy that is. Who the fuck says that? Join us for some cocktails. So I'm like, oh, I don't know. I'll think about it. And she was like, yeah, bring your friend too. It's okay. Not knowing what she wanted. So then she told me, she said, you want to see a tattoo? She said, I bet you've seen this before. She showed me an ace of spades tattoo. Like the spade, whatever you call it, it's black. It wasn't, I can't, it's like an ace of spades, but not the ace, but the symbol. She had that tattooed on her lower back. And I said, what the hell is that? And I just found out what that meant. I knew what that meant after that. It meant that she was down with the get down. They were swingers, but they were a little different than swingers. Yeah, something, Queen of Spades, whatever it was. So then she was like, listen, if you're not comfortable, my husband could just watch. And also he can just we have two rooms. Excuse me. The rooms where it's separated by the door, but they open the door. So they had both rooms. He said he can be in there, he could just listen if you're not comfortable, but we willing to pay more if he can watch. And then we could pay more if he could join in. Like you and him with me. Or you and your homeboy. She didn't say homeboy, but you and your friend with me. That'll be even better and we'll pay you. And I'm telling you, I had never been approached like that. And I played it off. I said, oh, okay, that sounds real good. Like I'm just trying to make her, I'm not trying to be awkward here. I said, oh, that sounds real good. She was like, yeah. Is that why you're here? She said, because normally guys like you, they come here and they already know what the program is. I was like, I didn't know. This is my first time here. She said, oh, so you're green. She said, I like that you're green to the game. And let me tell you this, she's an older woman, but she was one of them older women. I don't know if she had work done, but she was pretty good. She wasn't ugly. I put it that way. And she had a nice figure. So she was like trying to catch. And she said, and she told me, we usually would do it at my house, but the kids and stuff. So we come to the hotel. And that's my first taste to know that they be going to these hotels. No, her husband is he likes to watch, like how Diddy did. You know how like Diddy liked to watch? He likes to watch. And she's sitting up there rubbing on my thigh and this and that. It was crazy. But then it got a little bit more crowded. it was a little bit more people came in, and we got split up, and I just got the hell up out of there. My boy stayed though. So I don't know what he did. I didn't say what he did. But then the next day at work, he said, yo, don't tell nobody about this spot. You know what I'm saying? I said, yo, did you stay? He said, yeah. You know what I'm saying? He said, bro, man, you can make some money, man. He was telling me this. You can make some money, man. He said, but that's between me and you. I said, yeah, that's cool. I don't know if he did anything that night. He didn't talk about it. But I know that that's one of the hotels. It's not just that hotel, the Omni. It's another one. It's another one in DC. They also have a club, but the club is in Richmond. I'm gonna say what street, okay? Carey Street. But anyway, it's like a building, but there's no markings on the building, but you can hear music. That's where the swingers go. They have swinger clubs, right? And you can get a lot of clients in there that's into the watching part. They just want to watch, and a lot of these people got money. And some of these people don't have money. They regular people, but they willing to spend whatever they have to have you be with their wife. You see what I'm saying? And it's like that. Some people, it's not just this. Some people just into it like that. I'm not into it. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I'm not trying to judge nobody if they into that stuff, but that's just what it is. Some people, that's how they get off. You said I'm gonna this weekend in Richmond. I don't know if it's still a thing up at the hotel, but you can check. And it's usually go on Friday night, Thursday night, Friday night. It starts Thursday. So just go check. And actually you can go to the when you go in, just say what's the bar looking like. They'll know. They'll tell you. So and dress, don't just dress anyway. Dress, dress casual. Don't dress like you're going to a concert, if you know what I mean. Just go regular. But if that's what you into, you know what I'm saying? I ain't judging nobody if that's what they into, but that's one of the hotel. These rich people go there, and they be traveling. They be coming from out of state, this and that, and they be throwing parties, and they like to watch. I've heard stories where the wife be getting down and everybody just standing around watching. They be into that too. Standing there watching with their members in their hand. Getting off by watching. Okay? So when you mentioned that hotel is in the files, I'm sure he knew about that hotel because it's a network. They know where to go in each state. They know where to go to. What's up, Sharice? They know where to go to. But like I said, if you into it, you're going to find it. If you're into that lifestyle and you want to make some money, oh, you're going to find it. You're going to find it. Okay? You're going to find it. And then especially if you're the type of person that don't tell their business, you're going to make a lot of money. You said invite you on a boat. Yeah. You can sit there and say, I believe you. Like if you're into that lifestyle, you're going to find work. You're going to find it. And especially if you're the type that don't tell, they'll invite you on all type of trips. And here's another thing that I found out. Okay. This is what my boy said I used to work with. He said, they don't care what size you are, just the fact that you black and she's with a black guy. It excites them. And he said they want you to reenact stuff like she's getting breeded. This shit is crazy, bro. By a wild bull. It's crazy, bro. It's crazy. That's what they into. They into role playing. They into role playing and all that. I don't know what they doing, how much they paying, but they into that type of stuff, man. And here's the thing, a lot of the adult stars, they do that stuff. Okay? You think Diddy was the only one? All the other celebrities were quiet because they do the same thing. I talked to a brother, right, that was involved in that whole situation. He a real cool dude. I talked to him, and he said it was other celebrities too. I'm not going to say which ones, but he said there's other ones. Birthday parties, they also do that for birthday parties. Like say if you got a wife, that's her birthday present. Okay, it's mental, right? They like the fact that you a brother. You see what I'm saying? And then they want you to. It's just crazy, bro. It's like stereotypes. They want you to, it's crazy, bro. And you think it's just rich people? No, it's just people that's into that. And yeah, they do have security. You got see, I didn't know about the spots, but the security know. And guess what? That security ain't gonna let you in. If you're not invited there or you're not a member there, they're not letting you in. Okay? And the windows are black and covered, but you hear music. They're not letting you in. I could take you by a spot, like I can go live and go by a spot in New York City. It's still there. You hear a lot of music. You see the big bouncers out there look like offensive linemen in the NFL. They're not letting you in. And a lot of offensive linemen, let me tell you this, a lot of offensive linemen that didn't quite make it in the NFL, they're bodyguards for these people. Okay? And they will sit up there and tackle you, man. They will sit up there and put hands on you if you try to get in. But if you invite it, they'll let you right in. But it's not a normal club where you can just walk in. You gotta be invited or be a member. But you can Google it. You could do a Google search if you want. If you into that lifestyle, you can do a quick Google search, and there's certain parties you go to where they'll watch you, and if you become cool with them, they'll bring you to the other spots. So it's just if you into that, if you married and you into that, or you don't gotta be married if you just into it. There's spots like that, and there's a spot in Canada that a friend of mine went to, her and her boyfriend. It was a spot where you just openly just pick a spot and just do your thing, and people are watching, or you could join in with other people, and it's a major spot in Toronto, major spot. But those are things that's out here that he probably knew about because see, he was one of the gatekeepers. He was one of the it people. This guy, he was one of the people. He was the plug. Now, let me just explain the picture with Michael Jackson, because he has a picture with Michael Jackson. Now, a lot of people say, damn, was Michael down with it? No, Michael had went to him because he was looking for real estate. And he was the plug to the celebrities to go to get exclusive real estate that wasn't listed. That wasn't listed. He was the plug to go to, and Michael was looking for real estate out in Florida at the time, in Miami. So that's why Michael was with them, because he was the plug to go to find exclusive real estate. This dude was a plug, yo. And I don't know who made him the plug. That's what we need to find out. Who is that person still alive? I think he is. He's still alive. The person that hooked him up with that house that he owned in New York City, he's still alive, yo. He in like his 80s, but he's still alive. Somebody made him the plug. And then it was also said that he was talking to those people over in another country by way of another lawyer. So he was very connected. Everybody knew he was diabolical, but he was the plug. He was the person to go to. He knew everybody. How is he hanging with everybody? No, well, he may have had the butt plugs too, but he was the plug on a lot of things. Okay. I mean, that's just from what we're reading, we can see it. He was the plug on a lot of things. Okay. A lot of things he has, he knew about. He was the person. Yeah, like Russell Wilson is named in the files, but he was trying to get a jet off of him. Right. He wasn't involved in anything, but he was trying to get that jet off of him. Right. And that's what they do. They find somebody to buy their jets. They rent their jets out. Like Diddy was renting his jet out while he was locked up. He's still doing it. That's how he make a little extra cash. So his jet won't be sitting there and he paying all this money while his jet is sitting there, so he can just rent it out, okay, and make some cash off of it. You said who is on that island now? Well, his brother owns everything. His little brother owns everything. I don't know if his brother sold the island, but I know he left his brother everything, if you believe that he's gone. But they say he gone. So I'm not trying to get in the conspiracy that he's still around, but I know his brother. Now the property he had in New York City that was sold to an old Goldman Sachs executive, excuse me. He purchased it, and the proceeds of that sale went to the victims. No, that's not the only island. They got other ones, but see, the thing is, we're focused on him right now. These oligarchs and all these people around the world, they go to different hotels, they go different places, and the people that work the hotels, they have to be silent on stuff, the way they leave these rooms. One person said, how the hell did a condom get on the ceiling? Stuck on the ceiling. A condom was stuck on the ceiling. Like, how did they get up there? Like, it was crazy. He said the way they left the rooms. But you can't say anything. Yeah, these oligarchs. Okay. He knew all of them. Pretty sure of it. He was one of the guys. Okay, that's the plug. He got the parties. He got, this is our own little crew here. This is our own little thing, our own little club that we all know about. Just all of us. Okay, you can't tell on us because you down with the get down. Now, allegedly, Clarence Thomas, they said Clarence Thomas went to the island, and when he got there, he freaked out. Like, he ain't know about the get down, right? He ain't know about the get down. I guess he started freaking out. And then they said Maxwell told him to calm down, everything will be all right. And they slipped something in his drink. Okay. They said that happened to him. So now he can't go back and say nothing because he was there. He can't say nothing. So now they got something hanging over his damn head. Like, look, bro, I guess he thought, yeah, I'm gonna go to the island and this and that. We just all gonna chill. I didn't know you had this type of stuff getting down. You see what I'm saying? And now they don't got this stuff hanging over his head, and now he can't say nothing. Yeah, you can't say nothing because you were there, bro. You witnessed it. You know what I'm saying? So you can't say nothing. No, they said it's in the paperwork. They said he was freaking out. You know what I'm saying? But look, how he gonna leave? Where he gonna swim? Where he gonna swim off the island? How he gonna leave, yo? Was you gonna get a boat? He can't leave. He's freaking out, yo. That's what they said. That's the word on the street. He was freaking out and they drugged him, allegedly. So now he can't say nothing. What he gonna do? Go back to Washington and say whoop de whoop, this happened? No, because he was there. And look, he already had got caught up in something when he was getting confirmed. Remember, he got caught up in something. So if that had came out, people gonna believe that he was in the get down. His name was already put on Front Street before. Okay, on some ill stuff. So he probably thinking, damn, ain't nobody gonna believe me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they said it was some ill stuff going on and he freaked out. So they said we slip something to calm him down. But my question was, what was Stephen Hawkins doing there, man? What was, the situation involving Anita Hill at the time? What was Stephen Hawkins doing there, man? What were they doing to him, man? I don't even want to know. I don't even want to know. But it's a picture of him there in the wheelchair. And everybody's sitting around the table and he just sitting there. He just sitting there. You know what somebody said to me? Yeah, but how do you know he enjoyed it? He couldn't talk. Okay. How do you know? But see, look, here's the thing. There's a picture. I'm not, y'all seen the picture. Just Google it. He's sitting there. Everybody just sitting around. He just looking at the camera. Like like his mind is in Mars somewhere. What did they do with him? Okay. That's sick, yo. Like, leave him out of it. Why he got to be there? No telling what they had people do to him. He couldn't say nothing. He couldn't say stop, man. This is bro. This is sick, yo. Now, you know what somebody told me? Max, calm down. Just because people were there don't mean that they did anything. That's true. That's true. But you ever heard of you guilty by association? That's what people told me. You guilty by association, Max. I said, have you ever heard that? Yes, I've heard that. An older woman told me that, well, that don't mean that everybody did something. I said, have you ever heard of you guilty by association? She said, yes. I said, okay then. What happens if it come out like my name come up or something? Like Max was there. Like y'all wouldn't believe me. I'll say, yo, guys, I went there not knowing what was gonna happen and I was surprised. Y'all ain't gonna believe me, yo. You gonna be like, well, what were you doing there? Okay. What were you doing? And y'all be like, what were you doing? And you will look at me like sideways. You like, what were you doing there? I said, bro, I went there not knowing what was gonna happen and all this got down. Okay, so you didn't get down with the get down? You that's what you telling us? You could tell us anything because we weren't there. So, but we know that your name is out there. I know my name's out there, but I didn't do anything. But y'all be like, yeah, all right, bro. I could have been freaking out on the island. And you know what? They probably would have got off on it. Oh, he's sitting here freaking out and this and that. This is sick, yo. I don't know what they did with that Stephen dude. I don't know what they did with Stephen Hawkins, man. Didn't he come up with the string theory? Why can't I just remember him for that, yo? Why did they ruin that? I want to remember him just the string theory, man. I just want to remember him for his contribution to science, man. Why do I have to remember him with Epstein, man? That bothers me. How do we know he only watched? I don't know what they did with him, man. Then my mind is like I have my imagination. Antoine said, "Don't worry, I'll tell you later." He can't even say it here. They did something with him, man. That's what I think, and they enjoyed it. They was sitting there watching, and they was like, "Yeah, go over there with him, bruh, bro." I just want to remember him for science, and they ruined it. They ruined it for me. That's messed up. Listen, but you know how all this started, right? Because of T. We want to get the T on Trump. That's what it was. Oh yeah, we want the T. Everybody want the T. They want to know what he did, right? They want the T. God, this is some real tea here. Okay. So you know what Trump, he's sitting up there in his office, right? You see how he be looking all disgruntled? Okay. Okay, y'all putting my business out on Front Street. But you heard what he started to say, right? Well, what about this person? What about this person? What about he's starting now he's snitching. Like, what about this person? Why y'all on me? The reason why they on you, sir, is because you the president. That's why. That's why. But everybody want to know the T on him. But now we find out T. Then they talking about Elon Musk talking about he wanted to have a party. He wanted to let loose. Oh my God. He said we're gonna be out here, and he said we want to come to the island. He want to let loose. What he mean about letting loose? I don't want to know, man. I just want to remember him for Tesla, man. I just want to remember him for Tesla, man. Okay? He the one with, but see, I knew something was up with him because remember, Trump said, yeah, we about to release the files. And you see how Musk was standing there? People say, oh, he's on the spectrum. No, he was thinking, damn, man, we all about to be put out there, bro. And Trump, no, he don't even give a damn because everybody already tweaking on him anyway. So he used to it. Everybody tweaking on him, right? And he tweaking back. But he like this, okay, release the files then, fuck it. If that's what y'all want to do. That's how he was looking. And then Musk was he was like, you know, he was like twirling his head, like shaking his head, because he was starting to get triggered. That's why. Because he sat up there. See, now we found out that he sat up there and hit Jeff up talking about, yeah, I wanna let loose and all that and this, that, and the third. Now we on his business. Now, what you mean let loose? What you mean? because we already know what that island is about. Now, what you want to go to that island for? What you want to go there for? Then Trump just sitting there like, damn, everybody letting loose on me. Your turn, tag, you're it. Because we already tweaking on him. Okay. But now everything else coming out. I just wanted to remember him for Tesla, man. I had wanted to get a Tesla. Now I don't even think I want to get a Tesla no more, man. But then what else am I going to buy? Because everybody down with it. Toy, it could be everybody. You said he wasn't on no drug. That was good. Listen, Trump sitting there at that desk. Okay, y'all want these damn files out? Y'all want them out? No, they wanted the files out, sir, to see what you did. That's all people were worried about, you. But see, he knew that the dude standing next to him was down with the get down. Okay? Okay? So he's sitting there at the White. I saw how he was looking. He looking like, damn, these files about to come out. Everybody tweaking on me, right? Yes, sir. Everybody was tweaking on you. But little that he know, little that we know that he knew everybody was with it. He said, okay, so if y'all want him out, I'll sign. Remember they said, sir, when you gonna sign the release? He said, I'm gonna sign it. I'm gonna sign it. They said, yeah, but when? When you gonna sign it? So we can see. Okay, I'm gonna sign it. So he at this point, he like, it's whatever. That's the way he's looking these days. It's whatever at this point. It's whatever, yo. Because everybody getting put on Front Street. Everybody. It's whatever. You said Oprah was never at the island. She knew him. She knew him though. They've been to parties in New York together. Now it could see some of these parties could just be regular parties. Okay. This dude is making Puff look like a saint. I mean, did Puff learn his shit from him? Like, what's going on? Now everybody, people got a hard on for Jay-Z. They do. They want some tea on Jay-Z, man. They want some tea. They want the tea on Jay-Z, man. And Jay, for a long time, he was moving around like, I'm different. You know what I'm saying? I'm not just a rapper. I'm different now. I'm hanging with the spirit cooking woman. When he started hanging with her, I ain't say nothing. I said, damn, bro. If the empire crumble, they coming for him. Remember that video he made in the art gallery? I just want a Picasso. I just want this, and I want a Picasso. Okay? Yeah, the woman that he was rapping with, y'all know who I'm talking about. She was in that video. And she's known for stuff, yo. Okay? I knew right then and there he wasn't with us no more. They took Jay away from us. He wasn't with us no more. He wasn't with us no more. Yeah, he's a rapper, but he wasn't with us no more. He's down with them now. Okay? You said Oprah could know him. See, it sound like you trying, Bunyan. You trying to defend it. Ain't no defending nobody, Paul. He was down with everybody. I know you revere Oprah. She gave away all them cars. You probably grew up watching Oprah, Mr. Bunyan. I'm trying to tell you. Everybody seemed like they were down with the get down. She said Jay stood her up and didn't respond to her, nor did he donate to her. Were you talking about the lady in the video? Listen, she was in that video and he was rapping to her. He's not with us no more. I'm just trying to tell you. He's trying to come back now. Oh, she was mad? What's her name again? Yeah, the spirit cooking lady was mad at Jay because he used her for the video to make the, yeah, he likes to do that. Look at me, guys. This a flex. Look who I'm with. This a flex. This a flex. Look at me. Look at me. I'm not regular. I'm with her, and I got. That's how he is. I mean, I could research her name, but I don't even know if I want to say it. Y'all know who I'm talking about, though. I just don't even want to say it. And I don't even want to talk about the dude that make the shoes that look like Converse, Rick Owens. I don't even want to talk about him either. All right. I don't even want to talk about Rick because Rick in a sunken place. Ever since he got with that woman, he changed. Yes, he did, because I remember him back in the 80s and 90s. He used to be a skateboarder. Okay, he used to be in the skateboard BMX crew back in the 80s. Now look at him. She looked like she doing rituals on him. Rick, raise your right hand if you need help, man. If you're in a sunken place. Okay? She's like, yes, when I met to Rick, we had to unusual relationship. She sound like she smoked 2 packs of Newports for 30 years. That's how she sound. And she smokes during the interviews, and he don't like smoke. She smoke all in the interviews. You know he don't like that smoke on him. Rick, raise your right hand if you need help, Rick. Okay? Raise your right hand, Rick, if you need help. Yeah, her name is Marina. Yeah, that's her. At Bronovich. That's her. Listen, Rick, we on Rick right now. Rick, raise your right hand if you need hand, because she's sitting up there. He don't like smoke. He's like one of those herbal tea people. He used to go to the poetry slams back in the day, Rick. Rick used to go to poetry slams back in the day. What happened, Rick? Rick, what happened to you? Rick, what happened to you, Rick? Okay? Now you got black fingernail polish and you looking like you're in a sunken place, Rick. She doing all type of rituals with you. She older than he is too. And she stays smoking. Like after she smoked a cigarette, I remember they having an interview one time. After she smoked a cigarette, she lit another one. All that cigarette smoke going all over you, Rick. Rick, you sitting up there, you don't even smoke cigarettes. And you sitting up there smelling like a whole ashtray, Rick. Lord have mercy. What people do, man. Lord have mercy. I don't even buy his shoes. I don't want to buy them because I feel like they put rituals on them. I don't want to buy the shoes. You know how the rappers are, I got some Rick Owens. You know what I'm saying? Okay. All right. That's cool. Shout out to Rick, man. Rick, raise your right hand. We'll come get you, Rick. We'll come get you, man. Damn. Okay. Now that's beyond toxic. She putting rituals on him, allegedly. But the spirit cooking woman, Jay, he thought it was a flex. Look at she in the video. Look at me and look what I'm doing. He always been that way. Look at me. Look what I'm doing. I'm the first to do this and I'm the first to do that. Look at me. And you know what I'm saying? He always real cool too. Like this one dude just recently tried to get an interview. I mean, try to get a autograph. No, he said, yo, Jay, could you say something in the camera real quickly for me? Can I get a quick interview? Yo, watch your cool. Watch your cool. You know how he is. Be cool about it. He said, but I like what you, he said, yo, keep doing you. I can't do an interview with you, but keep doing you. Everything's so cool with him. Everything's so cool. He said, like y'all conspiracy nuts are not in our world. Why we gotta be conspiracy nuts? This not no conspiracy. I'm reading the documents. You said they are parading Pusha T at the Grammys. Oh, I know what you're talking about. You talking about I know what you're talking about. Like y'all conspiracy nuts. Like we're conspiracy people. They trying to call us nutty. I know what you're talking about. You said they parading Pusha T at the Grammys like a slap in the face. Right. After he don't came out, here they go parading him around. Listen, I didn't even watch the Grammys. I'm not watching the Super Bowl either. Not watching that either, yo. People say, you watching the Super Bowl? Nope. Nah. I'll be out that day. I'm not watching no Super Bowl. It don't even excite me no more. When the last time you watched the Grammys? Anybody? The last time I watched the Grammys, off and on here and there, but The last time I was excited about somebody winning a Grammy was Michael Jackson and maybe Janet. That was it. I remember watching when I was a kid when Michael Jackson had won all those Grammys, when he had Brooke Shields and Emmanuel Lewis with him. But damn, Mike, Emmanuel was like 13, 14 at the time. You was holding him on your hip. I tell you, Hollywood they be playing in our face, yo. They truly do. You said only if they have good singers. Yeah, they have here and there. I might tune in here and there, but I'm not really excited no more like I used to be. You remember back in the day before social media in the 80s, celebrities had this mystique about them. Like you don't really know how they're living. Like you just remember them from their last work. Now you got social media, you can see what they're doing, this and that. It ain't the same no more. Remember Brooke Shields, like what is Brooke Shields doing? And what is the material girl doing? And you know, I didn't even know this. Her and Basquiat had a falling out. She used to date Basquiat. How Jay-Z, I got the Basquiat. You know how Jay is. He loves some Basquiat. He got his hair like Basquiat now. You know what I'm saying? He loved him some Basquiat. But him and Madonna had broke up and he wanted all his paintings back that he gave to her. So he started putting black all over them. So some people think that's a part of the art. No, that's him having a falling out with Madonna. That's crazy. Jean Michel. You said you was excited about. I wasn't even excited about Kendrick Lamar, man. So who can not like us? But man, come on, man. Who are you talking about? They not like us. Because the people that's not like you, the one that got you that way. It's all a game, yo. He down with the get down too. That's why they not like us, and the people that he talking about, come on, man. I like his music though. I'll listen to it, but other than that, I'm not excited. I'm not excited about no Grammys. You know what I'm saying? Oh my God, he just won a Grammy. Oh my God, I'm so excited. I can't get like that. I can't. But shout out to Kendrick though, man. He made good music. I give him that. Like, I first come to know who he was and Nipsey Hussle and them through Grand Theft Auto. The Grand Theft Auto soundtrack is all that. You know what I'm saying? But he had the ADHD song in Grand Theft Auto. That was, man, all my Grand Theft Auto people, the soundtrack is everything. Epstein, boy, it's getting worse. You said the Grammys, the Oscars, the Emmys, the Tonys have paid attention to them, and I haven't. You remember back in the day, you get excited to watch the Oscars. Remember that? Oh my God, he just won an Oscar. Oh my God, man. You know what I'm saying? The Oscars. I think I just need to relax. I think society is finally growing out of worshiping. So yeah, I mean, back in the day, we put them up on a pedestal when we were younger, but we got too much things to do to be sitting up there worried about an Oscar. I mean, come on. I hate to say it. I never tuned in. I'm done with the Super Bowl now. I'm just done with it. I don't like the Pro Bowl because the Pro Bowl ain't like what it used to be because none of the top people want to play in it. They all act like they hurt, and it's just a flag football now. I'm not into that shit no more. Who cares? Oh my God, he made the Pro Bowl. No, he didn't. He's just whatever, man. Man, what do I find joy in? Let me see. What do I get excited about? Guess being here another day, life, because we're all watching this play out together. That's okay. At least we could talk about it. You said, so what's exciting on TV now, Max? That's what I'm thinking about. What am I get excited for? I like college football. I still like that, but even that seemed like Even this college coach came out. He said, I can't prove it, but it seemed like my players betting on sports. He said that. It seemed like they're betting on sports or something. Like, he right about that. I was just watching the boxing the other day with Shakur Stevenson. I thought I was the only one, man. I like Shakur and all that, but he boring, yo. Like, I couldn't even finish the fight, yo. I'm like, damn, man. Like, shit. Ain't no excitement in the damn. At least with Mayweather, I know some people say, well, it wasn't exciting with him. Yeah, but he was like the villain. You know what I'm saying? People like, oh shit, Mayweather, like, is he gonna lose and this and that? You know, at least we had that. But this dude is just straight, man, it's just boring. And then, the Gypsy King, he had called out Anthony Joshua, but then that fight ain't gonna happen after what happened to Anthony Friends. He ain't fighting. So shit. I think Deontay's still trying to fight. Um, I don't know. The heavyweights ain't like it used to be. I'm not excited about no heavyweights. Yo, nothing is like Mike Tyson in his prime, Ryan. Mike Tyson beat himself. But you remember when he was in his prime, when he walked out there with just the towel on, the black shorts, no socks, with the black shoes, and twirling his neck, looking like he just came out of a sane asylum. That was exciting. You know what I'm saying? But now the heavyweights don't want to fight each other. It's just, I don't know, man. It's YouTube is, I like YouTube though. Content creators, that's what it is now. Like, the celebrities are doing content, but it's not the same with the celebrities. I can't check them sometime. Like, let me see which podcast I like. Um, let me see. Which celebrity have a really good podcast? Let me see. Maybe maybe what Mano and them doing. I tune into that sometime. Um, Joe and them starting to get corny to me. You said Jeff T podcast is done. I got to tune into it and see. Vlad sitting up there trolling now. Vlad's sitting up there trolling. He's sitting up there laughing. Who did he have on? Um, he had on the dude that was a entertaining for Puff and Cassie, and he let Vlad see the video. Dude, Vlad, I never seen Vlad so happy in my life. Vlad said, Puff is not gonna like me after this. He said, I saw his member. And he said, let's just say, I think he has a disability. He started laughing. But he's sitting up there describing this man Dingaling. And Vlad was so happy. Vlad, I never seen him so happy. He said, and it was fully erect. And it was like, oh my God. Oh my God. I'm like, Vlad, come on, man. Vlad ain't had no chill. Vlad didn't have no chill, man. He's sitting up there laughing. Yeah, Hassan be funny. But Vlad, I never seen him so excited. I never seen him that excited. Talking about his size, and he measured it, and he said give or take 3 inches. Vlad, yeah, Hassan like he got his snot box rocks. He got his TV turned off. The classic Hassan when he was in front of the projects, acting up and got shot at. Remember the dude, they started throwing stuff at him? That was classic. They were throwing stuff at Hassan, and I'm like, oh my God, Hassan, man, what is he doing? He said, I just got shot. They shot me, man. They shot me. I'm like, what? They shot him. Man, he said, super violate that like button. Yeah, he said, yo, violate that like button right now. Hit that like button. Yo, Hassan, yo, he watched me. I don't know if y'all know that. Like, I know him. Like, not know him personally, but he used to come in my chat. Like, you know what I'm saying? He cool, like, like that. And one time he shared my joint one time. He'll do it if you ask him. He would. But he's controversial. I don't want to be wrapped up in no controversy. You said I like listening to Hassan, but he get too, yeah, he do. That's how he do it. He got to get amped up about something. Yeah, he was yelling, "Come down here." You saw it, Steve. Come down here now. Come down here. They were throwing stuff at him. And then the other time, remember he was out with that dude? He said, "Yo, I am not gay. I am not gay." Why you touching me like that? I am not gay. Yo, that was another one. And then another one when he was outside of his house. When he was outside of his house and then the police showed up. Yeah, he pushed him on the floor. He pushed him. Yeah, he was like, "Yo, I am not gay. You hear me? I am not gay." Man, but people went, man, it's crazy. And I remember he was in Harlem when they had that little get together, when they had the media event with Sonetta and them. And he said, "Yeah, they go, what's his name right there? It's on right now." And he like, oh, another one he grabbed it. He allegedly had a gun in his hand. Yeah, Haas know how to get the views. He know how to get some views, man. He had his moments. Yeah, Derek was his mod. Then he tried to take him home. Let me take you home, and yeah, it was crazy. Why did you do that, Hassan? Why are you talking like that? I'm not gay. Yeah, Haas is he one of a kind. Then he show us his fish. You know what I'm saying? His backyard, the way he got it hooked up. It's crazy. But he know how to make some money on here. People still tune in. People tune in. They like to see that. They like to see something. But especially when he's out in the street. Like that was class. They were throwing the garbage at him. Oh yeah, he sell the dogs too. He a breeder. Yeah, you can hear his fish tank. You think the fish roasted? Yo, did he talk about that? Well, it depends on how deep his pond is. Because in the river, the fish don't freeze. They just like go into like a hibernation mode because it's not free. They say in biology, life exists because ice floats. It's not all the way frozen. That's how life still, like the food chain still exists. But in the pond, yeah, they could freeze for sure. Especially if you don't have it heated. Yeah, they could freeze. It's been so cold. It haven't been like this in about 10 years. Every 10 years we get weather like this. But the river hasn't been like that since, like, I think they said the Hudson hasn't froze over. It was in danger of freezing over, but they're trying to break it up. The last time it froze over to like land was in 1915 when people were walking the Hudson to go to New York because it was frozen. It was frozen for 45 days. You said the fish TV got turned off. Damn, Taz. Then one time he said somebody poisoned his dogs. Oh, he did a video about the fish dying. They got their TV turned off. Damn. And he paid a lot of money for them fish. Because you know, he got fish in his house too. You can hear the fish tank. He really serious about his fish tank. But Ha is always beefing about something. The whole thing was classic Africa Bambaataa though. People was saying, he said, "Yeah, I got this and that." I don't agree with people making fun of him over that. I just left that alone. But he will beef though. Like he calls his beefs and stuff, man, it's hilarious. He start beefing with people. Who else? Is Hassan? That's one I watch. It's another one. I'm surprised nobody mentioned it yet. My name always come up with a certain vlogger. I'm surprised nobody mentioned it yet. Somebody's going to. Somebody's listening is going to in a second. Well, what's up with what's his name, Max? Watch. It has something to do with battle rap. Somebody's gonna say it eventually. They always get me. What's up with that, Max? What's up with this, man? That's your boy. What's up, man? Surprised nobody did it yet. But I don't know what's going on with people. Yeah, him and Kwame Brown. Yeah, Kwame's still doing videos, or I give it to Kwame Brown. He did play in the league a long time. He did, regardless if they say he garbage or not. No, angry fan, not him. Yeah, Sinful to P. Rest in peace, him. He used to roast Hassan. He used to always refer to Hassan as she. He said she's mad right now. Then Hassan beef with him a little bit. Oh yeah, Star Report starring Buck Wild. He used to be starring Buck Wild back in the day on the radio. He was in the league over 10 years though. He got his pension, regardless of what people say. He played a long time. He wasn't garbage. I don't know why people say he was garbage. He wasn't. If he stayed in the league that long, he wasn't garbage. He wasn't the top tier, but he got his pension though. He qualified. He stayed in there long enough to get his pension that he'll probably start collecting on when he's like what 50 something. Oh yeah, I remember Professor Griff back in the day. You said Jay Mills got battle rap jumping with his diss record. I gotta check it out. I got off battle rap for a while. I used to watch battle rap heavy back in the day. I used to go back as far as when, man, this was way back when Murder Mook battled Party Artie. Party Artie passed away. He said, when you were in diapers, I was in Rikers doing ciphers with lifers. That was classic. You in diapers. I was in Rikers, ciphers with lifers. Something like that. Yeah, I watched Shakur fight. I wasn't impressed, man. I think I fell asleep. He won though. Yeah, I heard Cassidy just battled. I gotta get back into it. I haven't been into it in a while. I listen to the vloggers though. A friend of mine I grew up with, he used to own a battle league. He don't own it no more. I mean, it's not around anymore. At least last I checked, he used to do it with Arsenal, the Rebel. It was called UW Battle League. Then they changed to UW Battle League. His name is Darrison. I know him since grammar school. And also L Wisdom. I went to high school with L Wisdom. You remember L Wisdom used to be with Arsenal. They used to call him a cop. They said, "Oh, you were a cop and all that." Well, he was a cop. He's retired now. But yeah, he was a retired police officer. He's retired. Military guy, and he retired from the police force. But yeah, he really was police. I know him since high school. We went to high school together. His name Leslie. They call him L Wisdom, but his name Leslie. We call him Les. So I grew up with these guys, especially Darius. He on UW Battle League. You know, Tretch and them. I knew Tretch. I didn't live too far from Tretch growing up, and Naughty by Nature. Vinny and them. But that's who I really knew in battle rap. As far as yeah, you remember Les? You remember Leslie Prince? Antoine. We all went to high school. Antoine went to high school with me too. Sue Surf. Oh, he came home a couple of weeks. So I was about to ask about him. Did he start? Is he getting back into it? Yeah, Sue Surf just came home. A friend of mine, he was a principal when Sue Surf was in high school. His name is Principal Akbar from West Side High School. Antoine, you remember Akbar? We went to high school with him. They call him Principal Akbar now, if anybody know who he is. Well, I know him since high school. That's Akbar Cook. What happened to the battle rapper that was on trial forever? Well, he wasn't on trial though. You talking about was waiting for trial? Shotgun Suge is from Newark too. He's over there by he lived over there by that White Castle on in Newark. Uh, but when I grew up, Shotgun and Suge and them, I wouldn't have known them. They were young. They were the generation under me. Like Arsenal and them, they were the generation. They were kids when we was growing up. Sue Surf and them, I wouldn't have known them. Old Red too. Old Red, they were the generation after me. They were the, they like, but all of them, they all from Newark. Old Red and all of them for sure. Sue Surf, Arsenal, Sirius Jones. Who else? It's Sirius. Yeah, Sirius Jones. It's a few of them. Well, what's his name is not from Newark though. What's the other battle rapper from Jersey? He's from South Jersey. Oh, he home this month. Some people say he's out now. I don't know if Sue Surf. One of them is from Jersey City. I can't remember which one. But Jersey City, they all from there too. Joe Button's from Jersey City. TK Kirkland, he's from Jersey City as well. I used to see him a lot back in the day, way back in the day. But who else? Yeah, a lot of them from there. But like I said, when I was growing up, they were all kids. But I know some of the people like I grew up with that know them. Like they say, yeah, you remember what's his name? I'm like, I really don't. They were young, man. I know I wouldn't know. Sirius Jones. Well, Sirius is like not too much younger than me. Sirius Jones. Um, like all the Harlem guys, like Loaded Lux and them. I known them from like MTV days. back when Jen, when Jen was battling on that show. That's where I saw Loaded Lux. Then he came up with the Lions Den. I remember that. I used to follow that. That's when it was Raw. Then he had Smack DBD. That was like, I would say, the early days of modern battle rap. Now there was battle rap before that as well, but it wasn't like, this was back in the Eminem days. Like, that's different kind of battle rap, but that was more so freestyling. Now they call it writtens. We got our writtens together. So I like the writtens. I like them. Yeah, 106 in part. That's what I meant. You said Joe Budden said the Hot 97 job is best suited for a New Yorker. I think so. Because Flex is not it. Flex in the morning? Nah, man. They need somebody else in that slot other than Funk Flex in the morning. You say he was born in Harlem and reps Jersey all the way. Who was that? Oh, Joe Budden. I didn't know he was born in Harlem. I know he grew up in Jersey City, just across the water. But you tell it to the other side, they don't believe in all that cross the water stuff. If you from Jersey, you country. That's how they see it. But that's how New York is. That's how they see it. You live in the city. There is a slight difference, you know, but not really. It's a slight difference. But we all like kind of wear the same thing, same culture. But it's a slight difference though. If you from the city, you from the city. You can't fake it. If you from Jersey, you from Jersey. But yeah, they had to take Flex off the mornings, yo. It wasn't right. I'm surprised Flex still on the radio. Like, damn, like Flex, he gonna retire? Like he's been DJing since I was a kid, yo. How old is Flex? I was like 10 years old, he on the radio. It's crazy. Flex been around a long time. Flex been around since the tunnel. Let me tell you what happened with the tunnel. So DJ, what's his name? Big Cap. Big Cap used to DJ at the tunnel. If anybody ever went to the tunnel, Big Cap used to be in there. He used to be breaking all the new records. And then Flex would go to the radio and act like he broke the records. So it's like Flex would go to the tunnel and see what the crowd like, and then he'll go back and break it on the radio. But really, it was Big Cap that was doing it. Big Cap since has passed away, but he used to break all the records in the tunnel. And anybody that used to go to the tunnel, you had to wait online, and you could be waiting for a long ass time, waiting on that damn infamous line. And then if you didn't have ID, you had to pay. You had to pay at least $20, $40 to the guard to get you in. Them guards made a lot of money, them bouncers. They made a lot of money. We had to pay them cash, pay them like, here you go. Imagine you charging people $20, $40 a pop. That's a lot of money. No, some people that live in Jersey are from New York. They are. It just depends. Like some people, they move to Jersey, but they still claim New York though. They don't say they from Jersey. So you from where you born. There's nothing wrong with that. But some people in here, they are from New York. They are. They come here because they say it's cheaper, but it really isn't now. It's all the same price. It's not cheaper, especially what they're doing to Jersey City. Is what they did to Jersey City in the past 15, 20 years, man, it ain't the same. It's not the same anymore. Certain parts of Jersey City, they haven't gentrified. But I'm talking about near Provona and all that, and downtown Jersey City and over there by the water, it's not the same. It's not the same, man. Flex ain't retiring no time soon. They filled him in the morning. He was just a fill-in. They were trying to find somebody else. But Flex he was yelling and shit. You know how he be yelling over music, doing the bombs early in the morning and laughing. It was crazy. You know how Flex do, like when you start freestyling, you can't get through a whole freestyle with Flex. He'll cut you off. Yeah, $20 to $40. Ladies, um, some certain ladies used to get in free. It just depends. They had two lines, Antoine. And you know when you get there, when you coming out the tunnel, them little metal ass steps, people don't trip on. I got stories of people tripping on them damn steps. It's them 3 steps. How hard is it to get down 3 steps? Some people were drunk, they trip, man. It's nothing but asphalt you falling on. And then, we used to walk to what is it, Great Pupaya, that hot dog stand. People used to go there. Or you could go to Ray's. They had if the pizza, they had a pizza there across the street. Some people used to go to the Limelight. I used to go to the Limelight. Sometimes they had the little hip hop nights. But that's the old tunnel. I've only been to the tunnel, believe it or not. Only been there about maybe 4 times, maybe 4 or 5 times. That was it. I didn't go to the tunnel a lot, just 4 or 5 times, just to get the experience. I remember I went there one time. Mobb Deep was there. They perform on the main stage. Mobb Deep was there. Yeah, Mobb Deep. Mobb Deep. A few other people too, man. I remember one time I ran into Chi Ali in the tunnel. This before he got arrested. Chi Ali. And he wasn't performing. He was just in the crowd, just chilling. Him and Drez from Black Sheep. They must be related or something. They used to always be together. I used to see them in Washington Square Park a lot. Just walking through. I used to be out there with the chess people. Watching people play chess. Sometimes, you play the chess, people give them a couple dollars, $2, you play chess with them. They beat you real quick. I never used to like playing with the timer, though. The guy was like, well, that's going to cost you. The Palladium, I've been there. I've been to the Limelight. I never been to Webster Hall, though. Never been to Webster Hall. But that used to be popping back in the day. The Limelight, they had different nights for the Limelight, that old church. This old Gothic church. It's still there, but they turned to something else now. It's on 6th Avenue. They had this club called the Muse. They had Home Base. I used to go to Home Base. But I never been to Webster Hall. I never been to Willie Burgers either. It's just sometimes, because after you leave the club, you go to your regular spot and then you just leave. Get back on the train. Now, speed chess, I'll do 5 minutes. 5 minutes is good. 10 minutes, take too long. But traditional chess, it just takes a long time. People just sitting there looking at the board thinking, like, how long are you thinking here? I can't wait. Yeah, I never been to Bentley's. Never been to Shadow either. That was kind of before my time. Like Bentley's, I was young then when Bentley's was popping. That was during the Video Music Box days. Video Music Box used to go there, but I never, in Club 88 in Jersey on Evergreen, they used to have Club 88. That used to be popping back in the day, but that was before my time. That was before my time. But yeah, Video Music Box. Ralph McDaniels. My thoughts on the Epstein's files we were talking about is getting worse. It's getting worse by the day. They keep waiting for these Trump. They keep waiting for the Trump tea. Yeah, but meanwhile, while you waiting for the Trump, the Zanzibar, that was for my time too. We keep waiting for the Bentleys too. That was before my. What you know about Bentley's, Corvette girl? You from the? Wait a minute. You from up here? I ain't know you from. You from New York? You know Bentleys? Where you from again? I thought you were from around here. You just said Bentleys. Oh, New York. I figured that. Yeah, New York. So you know about all the spots. Now some of the spots, I'm not gonna lie to you, in the tunnel. I'm just being real with you. We had to use fake IDs. But here's the thing though about the fake IDs. The guards like, man, don't even worry about that. Just give me some money. And we always knew what to give them. It wasn't even no question. We just, yo, what's up, yo? And we just slide on. We act like we giving him a dap and slide him the money. He said, all right, yo, go in. He'll pat me down. Man, go ahead, man. He said, you better not. He said, what he used to say to us? They used to lecture us and shit. You better not get in no trouble. You gonna have to see me. I'm like, all right, sir. And we give him a dap. He said, yo, y'all don't never cause no trouble. But yo, you know, if you cause some trouble, you got to see us. I'm like, all right. And he just let us in. And you know, people used to get robbed up in there. It was crazy. You said, yo, Epstein $70 million townhouse in New York. It was sold. Goldman Sachs executive purchased it. But it's getting worse. We waiting for the Trump tea and everybody else tea coming out. I knew that was gonna happen. He's sitting at the, I remember he was sitting at the Oval Office, sitting there shaking his head. Yo, they said, yo, when you gonna sign off on this? He said, I am gonna do it. He's shaking his head though. I'm like, all right, let's get to it if y'all wanna do it. That stuff came out with Bill Gates. It's crazy. They said he sat up there and caught something. And then asking him for some antibiotics to get his wife. Dang. That's some real craziness right there. I know he's not happy that came out. I know he's not. Used to work at the boat party in Manhattan. I only been to one, and I regretted it. And it wasn't the main boat party. You know, going up the Hudson. That's what you're talking about. No, that wasn't that. This was somebody I used to work with when I was working at Prudential. They said, "Yo, I got this boat party. You know, the bros are throwing." So I'm thinking the bros, you know, the fraternity. I'm thinking it's gonna be a lot of women there, right? They said, "Yeah." He told me, "Yo, just make sure you dress." You know what I'm saying? I never forget. I went to Newport Mall and got fresh, thinking I had bought me a nice new rugby. You couldn't tell me I wasn't fresh. Brought me a new rugby. You know what I'm saying? Had the Yankee hat on new rugby. Had on some khakis. You know what I'm saying? And some polo boots. You couldn't tell me nothing, man. You couldn't tell me I wasn't ready. I get up on the boat. I'm making it all my way to the top. So I'm walking through the crowd. I didn't notice the crowd. I'm going through the, walking through. And I get up there to the bar on the top. And I'm looking around. Ain't that many women in here. I said, where's the women? Where's the fuck, yo? Like, where? It was like a sausage convention. Dude, I wasted my money, yo. I was so mad, yo. I could have saved my money. I wound up talking to the bartender, and she was like, yeah, this is how it is. Every year they throw this. She said, I know you felt like you wasted your money, but at least you could drink. I didn't even feel like drink because you had to watch yourself, yo, in there. It's a sausage convention. They would dance. They had a Soul Train line. There was only a few girls in the line. And the girls that was there, they had their boyfriends there. So who the hell I'm going to talk to? It wasn't nobody I could get a number from. Because I'm thinking I'm going to at least get me a one number. I'm going to at least get me, and back then we had to get numbers. I'm going to get me at least one number. At least. I got this polo. You couldn't tell me nothing, yo. I had a polo rugby on. You know what I'm saying? And the polo boots with some khakis on, yo. You couldn't tell me nothing. I thought I was with I was dressed like one of the dudes in what's that video? Remember they raking in the dough, boy, raking the dough. I thought I was one of them, yo. I thought I was part of one of the low pros. You couldn't tell me nothing. The brown polo boots with the buckle, you couldn't tell me nothing. I knew I was gonna get me a number. Okay. And I'm sitting up in there and couldn't get not one number, not one. I did get the bartender's number. I did. And I wound up, she ended up knowing somebody I knew. And we went out after that. We went all to get something to eat. We hung out and got something to eat. And she's sitting up there clowning me the whole time. When she said, "You wasted your money, blah, 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 blah." Man, I was depressed. I'm like sitting at the bar, like you know how after a while, because she had to go attend to other people. I'm sitting there with my head in my hand. And my boy sitting there like, yo, I ain't know it was gonna be like this, yo. He got taken for a ride as well. Cause we thought it was gonna be, cause they told, yo, man, it's gonna be an event. It's gonna be an event. Now we stuck on the water. It was supposed to, I think the thing lasted for 2 hours. That was the longest 2 hours, man. I'm just sitting there, yo. I said I wasted my money. And then we went on a ski trip. I didn't learn my lesson. The bros at the job, they were hosting a ski trip at the Poconos. So I said, okay, boom. It was a weekend ski trip. I'll never forget it. We left Friday. They had a bus ride and everything. We paid our money and it all inclusive, had the room and everything. So we already knew what we about to do. Like, yo, I said, yo, this opportunity right here. I said, yo, it's gonna be, oh man, we gonna get some numbers, and then we at the hotel, we gonna have a good time. Bro, it was a sausage convention again. A sausage convention. Everybody, and the girls that were there, they're there with their boyfriends. They were there with their boyfriends. And at this point, I couldn't leave because I'm at the Poconos. And then the next day they had parties. They had a pajama party. I'm in the pajama party with no pajamas on, yo. Because I'm mad at this point. I'm mad, yo. And I'm looking at the women going there. They were all, it was like a cliquish thing. Everybody was in a clique. And my boy Manny, he was like, bro, it ain't no women here, yo. And I said, bro, how much would it take for us just to leave this joint, yo? Well, let's take a train or a cab or something. I was so desperate, I want to take a cab home. I said, how can we get out of here, yo? He said, yo, we wasted our money. They got food. The food was good. I'm not going to lie to you. The food was good. But I'm at the party walking around, and the girls, they already had their guys, and then the guys danced with each other, doing the Q stuff. They had different, it was different fraternities there. You had the Qs there, you had the Alphas there. You had all fraternities there. And they were doing the Soul Train line again, everybody holding each other hip in the soul. I'm like, what the fuck is this, man? What is this? And I'm trying to, I'm surveying the scene, trying to find somebody to dance with. There was nobody. And I said to the dude that hosted you, I said, yo, where the chicks at, yo? Where the girls at? He started laughing. Yo, you should have brought yours. That's what he said to me. I said, bro, that's not what you told us. You said we're going to be able to get numbers. We're going to be able to do whatever. And the girl laughing at me, she pulled me to the side. She was like, they lied to you, didn't they? I said, they lied to me and I can't get my money back. She said, well, they got good food. It's all you can eat. And I said, well, shit. Well, who you with? She said, oh, my boyfriend over there. So I went and sat down at the table because they had tables lined up where you can eat, and they had like the dance floor. I said, you know what? I'm gonna take some of this motherfucker because I had a microwave in my hotel room. I said, yo, Manny, we about to rob this joint. He said, what you talking about? I said, we gonna take a whole thing of food with us. They nobody paying attention to us. You know how they had the thing, the food lined up, in the little aluminum foil thing. I said, yo, we just gonna take one, yo. It was lasagna. I said, we gonna take that and we gonna take the chicken and we bouncing, yo. He said, yo, we can't do that. That's stealing. Why did I take it, yo? He didn't want to take it. I took it because nobody was paying attention to me. I took it right back to my room. Yo. They were looking for it. It was like, yo, what happened to this stuff? Nobody said nothing. They didn't see me. I took it. That's right. I took it and took the chicken. And I sat there and I had it for the rest of the weekend. I ate it. Because they had some and Manny, then he was like, yo, you were right by taking this. Because then after the all you can eat night, we had to pay for food. I ain't had to pay for no food that weekend. I had it right there. And they asked me, yo, bro, did you see what happened to the other stuff? I like, I didn't see it. Because everybody was drunk, doing their thing, doing their Q shit, throwing up the Q sign, all this, the alphas. I took that food. I sure did, because they sat up there and lied to me. He told me I ain't have to bring nobody. It's gonna be women up there. That's what he told me. And then we had the ski day where we all went to the slopes. That was my first time trying to ski. I did not have fun because we went up to the big ass. I said, I thought this was the beginner slope. They said it is the beginner slope. I said, why is it so steep? Man, I went down anyway, yo. I learned on the fly. I fell a few times, but it was fun. We going up the ski lift and the shit got stuck. So we was on the ski lift, we were just bugging, like just trying to make fun of it. And that was about it. Then Sunday we left. We left Sunday, and we all back on the. Everybody hung over on the bus, but me. I'm the only person leery on the bus because I ain't drink. I ain't had no fun. There wasn't nobody to dance with, nobody to party with, nothing. I just spent all that money for nothing. I never go to another frat event ever again. Ever again. After that, I never did. They tried to lure me again. Yo, this time is gonna be better. We got the sisters hosting this time. I don't give a damn because let me tell you what happened with them. They're very cliquish. If you don't know somebody, ain't nobody partying with you, man. It's crazy. So they told me, man, don't be like that. You know what I'm saying? You being a party pooper, man. Don't be like that. I said, y'all cliquish. I didn't waste my money no more. So that's it. They were dancing with each other. I said, what is it? They had they had like a line, you line dancing and you going around in a circle. They were doing that. They were holding each other hips. Doing the signs and all that. And that was the outside. I wasn't in a fraternity. So all I'm doing just sitting there about to steal some food. That's what I did. I said, they're not going to enjoy this lasagna. I'm going to enjoy it. See, that was my get back. They're not enjoying that. He was like, yo, how you going to take it? It's people. I said, ain't nobody watching. I walked right up out of there. I had a whole thing of lasagna and a whole thing of chicken. That chicken was good, too. We had a refrigerator and a microwave in the room. I enjoyed it. I'm surprised nobody smelled it. Oh, I tell you what we did do. I shouldn't even admit this, but heck, I was being a hater. So the some people that did have their women with them, obviously, late at night they're in the room trying to get down. So me and my boy, man, we was like, yo, we just gonna start banging and knocking on people's doors. Like bang, I'm talking about kicking, banging on the door. And we kept doing that to this one dude. And we kept running back into the room. And he kept, who the fuck is that? Who the hell is that? We'll wait 20 minutes later. He trying to get down again. And we'll go bang and knock on his door again. It's a stick up. Get the fuck up. Get the fuck. We gonna rob you. Like banging and knocking on the door. And then we run back in the room. Finally, she left his room. She got tired of it. She left. So I got my vindicate. I'm like, I'm being a hater. You know, at this point. He said, wait till I find out who did this, blah, blah, blah. I'm a whatever. And she left. She left his room. And he's sitting up there selling wolf ticket. He old Poindexter looking dude. See, we had to be careful because he had his bros up there with him. They've been on tried to jump us. But we just turned into full-fledged haters, man. At at that point. I had a whole thing of food and being a hater. I spent all that money. But anyway, you know, you live and you learn. But anyway, I'll be back a little later. This Epstein stuff off the hook, bro. It's off the hook, man. All their business going out there now. Because that crown princess of Norway, she talking about she didn't hang with him after he got convicted the first time. Yes, she did. It's all in writing. Then she asked him about sending naked pictures to her then 15-year-old son, you know, of women. Why would she write him to do that? And now her son is caught up in an R case now. He got arrested. It's crazy. Her son got caught up, yo, in the whole case. He got caught up in the whole case, bro. This whole thing is sickening, but hey, it got to come out, man. It is what it is. They got it out there, so we reading it. They got it out there. Anyway, let me get out of here. I'll catch y'all a little later. I'm come back with this because every time I'm going through it, it's something else. You know, if you want to know where to find it, just type in Epstein files. Go to the Department of Justice website. When you go there, it's going to have Epstein Library. It's going to ask you if you're 18 years of age. Click yes if you are. And then it has search full Epstein Library. And you can just type in a name. Like, let me type in Sean Carter. See what comes up again. Actually, let me type in Jay-Z. And it comes up. It says Stash House referencing song by Jay-Z currently houses renovated luxury units. What the fuck? What is this? I don't know. You could just type in a name like, let me see, Bill Clinton. You could just like type in names and the data sets will come up with him referenced in them. It says a dinner with Bill Clinton and two underage four Russian women were offered to Bill Clinton. Hold up. Let me see this. It's got 154 documents. Wow. Alan, Alan Dershowitz. It's crazy. That's 154 documents. Four Russian women were offered to Bill Clinton for five, but Bill Clinton turned down. I don't know. This is crazy. But you can go through all the data sets if you want. It's just a lot. All right, y'all. Yeah, a lot of stuff is redacted. If you go through the files, it's redacted. A lot of it is, yeah. I mean, I don't, they even have a Maxwell proffer here. Interview transcript, Maxwell, redacted. See? Wait a minute, is there a recording I can listen to? Let's see. Nope. So why they have recording here and I can't listen to it? Everything's redacted, man. Can't even listen to the recording. Let's see, interview transcript with Maxwell, but it's redacted. Yep. And the page not found. You can't even see it. They won't let you see it. Her proffer. Yep. Won't let you see it. You ain't got this type of security clearance. All right, y'all. I'll catch y'all later. Y'all be good. Good talking to you.